Starting your first business can be very exciting, but it can also be very overwhelming at the same time. Many people believe that starting a business means just creating an LLC or building a website or designing a logo. But that's actually one of the biggest mistake the first time founders usually make. Because businesses are not built on the paperwork. They are built on economics, systems, and execution. So today in this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework the first time entrepreneurs should do in order to start, build a sustainable and scalable business. So many businesses fail not because they lack motivation, but because they start in a wrong order. So let's fix that. So one of the most common issue which the first time founders face is what businesses should you start, or they become so emotionally attached to the idea which pops up to their mind in the mid of the night that this can be a next let's say a Uber. So rather you should find a problem in your areas, in your situation, in your society, that with the problem which you think you can solve. And at the same time, this problem should not necessarily be the reinventing the whole wheel or building something absolutely unique. There should not be a problem by copy pasting an existing problem in the market and you find a new solution or added on value to that solution, and that way you can present it to the market. So in that way you have already a proven problem and there is an existing demand available in the market, there is an awareness available in the market, but you have another solution or another value added advantage to that existing problem or existing available solutions in the market, so that you can have a very strong margins on your business which can help you in the scalability of the business. Because you need to understand, ideas are free, but executions is expensive. So which business model you should choose? So personally, it can be a biased approach, or at least as per my experiences, I choose and I prefer the businesses which has the recurring revenue, low overheads, a reasonable capital, not so much overloaded of the capital, not so much overloaded of capital requirement, an existing demand, and a very simple operations. For example, most of the times I prefer the services business like cleaning business, car wash, mobile car wash businesses. I prefer, the contracting services, the property management services, laundry pickup service, oil change service. I'm not talking about a big high-tech kind of, the SaaS product or an internet AI related some things. That may look fancy and sexy, but that may not be the best business to start until you are an experienced entrepreneur to start and launch that tech or fancy businesses. So when you decide and select the business model, the next thing is you need to validate the market. Who will be your right audience? How you are going to approach to your right audience? How much are your audience ready to spend on that business? How much is the total market size of that particular product or services? How much share of that market you can capture, and how soon? And when you are doing that market analysis and survey, so don't ask your family members, ask the market, because the market never lies. The next step would be you need to understand your numbers. When you do the market research, you identified a problem, you identified a business idea. Now you need to run your numbers. How much is the capital requirement for this? How much will be the operating expenses for the business? What will be your break-even point? And how you gonna fund that business? So you need to have that liquidity planning, how you gonna, when the business is going in the hardships, how you gonna plan and fund and keep the business alive. So do not only depend on the hopes and expectations that the business will generate the income from its inception, because the hope is not the financial strategy. The next step would be you need to start lean. Don't go fancy, don't go heavy, don't go overloaded. Start with the lean operations. Start with the one unit, one truck, one car, one mechanic, one, whatever you are starting the operations for. Start with the lean, with the lowest possible marketing budget. But have your budgets ready, have your goals set, so you can test the market first, then you can gradually increase your operations. The next step I would say is always build your systems sooner than later. So don't depend that you will start the business and start doing the service or offering the products, and later you will understand the businesses and then you will build the systems. No, start your systems right from the day one and leave a room for improvements and perfections. The next step I would advise is that you do not try to offer all the products or all the services. Don't offer everything, which means you focus on your niche, you try different things, but then you focus on one thing to offer to the customers, and first you make it perfect, you improvise it, and then later on you add on the other auxiliary services. And the last thing will be focus on your cash flow and set your long-term goals. You need to not only focus on the revenues of the business, but you also need to focus on the profitabilities, the margins, and the overall cash flows of the business so that you can plan a long-term success and growth for your business. So hope this video will help you in understanding your first and the next steps when you plan to launch your first business. If you still have any further questions, you want any help in building your systems, in helping you launching your business, feel free to reach out to me. Me and my team would be happy to address all of your concerns. Thank you so much. Have a good day.